cheers.
Cheers.
Let's start with this.
Yeah.
Delicious beers.
Delicious beers.
So this has been in the works for a while.
Yeah, it has been.
It's been fun to watch the ladies enjoy the process in learning how to run a podcast.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, and they've evolved over time.
Right.
Their sound, their what they talk about.
Learning not to speak over each other.
You just have to talk to Rachel about that. That's an easy fix.
Well, I think people will realize that the roles from Kristen and Rachel will be reversed when the husbands are on the mic because
maybe, I don't know.
I think you and Kristen are much more alike, and Rachel and I just kind of
go with the flow,
bring the chaos.
Yeah, I mean that's what keeps it interesting.
So, would you want to do the intro?
Yeah,
we're supposed to say Mystic Misters.
Yeah, welcome to. We're going to do it like they
Let's
do.
Let's try to do it. Ready?
Right.
Welcome to Two Mystic Misters. There we go. So, my voice is like blown out.
Do you yell a lot when you teach?
It's not that I yell a lot. I definitely don't like yell like they're doing something wrong, but I speak up and speak with authority.
Yeah.
Because I just don't think like this generation of kids just do not respond well to being screamed at.
Nope.
But if you speak to them like an adult and if you speak to them with passion, they respond really well.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, what we both enjoy. We're both coming off of seasons right now.
Yeah.
So why don't you explain a little bit about what...
So I coach youth wrestling in Peters Township where we live. And I wrestled from the time I was 5 till my senior year in high school. And Graham started wrestling 4 years ago, and I kind of got back into it then. Mm-hmm. And it's just kind of fueled that passion for coaching.
Yeah.
I'm in a different demographic than you are. We have kids from 4 years old on up to 6th grade.
Right.
So you're in the high school level.
Yeah, 9 through 12.
Obviously connecting with those kids is a little bit different.
It is. It's different because the kids I get, like, they have basic training.
Yeah.
Like you're providing the basic training.
Right.
Which is almost as important.
Yes.
I work with like the teachers in the elementary and then the middle school.
Mm-hmm.
Like they've put a process of funneling everything into the high school, into the marching band.
Yeah.
So like by the time they get to me, they have a very good understanding of theory and how music works.
Sure.
And I just have to motivate them to practice and get better and discipline. Which you also have to.
Yeah. Our biggest thing is wrestling's tough. I mean, it is a tough sport, right?
Yeah.
And not a lot of people end up following through with wrestling because it is so difficult. Mm-hmm. So our whole goal is to get these kids to the next level, right? We want to get them to junior high, still loving the sport.
Well, you have to get them, I think you saw this with Emmeline, is like breaking through that barrier where it's like, it's okay to go out there and try to kill somebody.
Yeah.
Like, and have that switch.
Absolutely.
And there's your friends, the little girl, I forget what her name is.
Yes. She's terrifying all the time.
It's so cool to see. And it's been cool to watch Em like find that also. Because like she definitely has that ability. Like, I'm going to come out here and I'm going to rip your arm off.
Yeah. We will yell at the kids every once in a while, because, they get, they're young kids. They get out of line. They're doing this. I'll blow the whistle in a push-up position and we'll get in push-up position and we'll talk while they're sitting in a push-up position. And you hear them all,
right.
They're all moaning and whining.
Do I have your attention now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it is a little different than when you're dealing with high school kids because they have that capacity to focus.
The high school kids tend to have the same thing, but you don't have to go from 0 to 100. You can go from 25 to 30.
Yeah.
And you can grab their attention right away. A lot of what I have tried to do with high school kids is just like having a routine, creating discipline, creating structure, and that's the basis for going a long way.
Yeah.
Well, I should talk about myself and what I'm talking about. So I've been drumming since I was in 5th grade, and drum corps, high school marching band, college marching band, WGI, DCI, and then 14 years ago we started the Steeline. So it's been a lot of drumming, and I started teaching in 2008, and it's been cool to just spread that side of things. And this will be my 7th year at Hampton, where they just were like, here's the percussion group, you can do as you want with it. So, growing the marching band. And then 4 years ago, we started the indoor program, and we've been marching for 2 years. The reason we did all this is because the kids were pushing for it. Like, well, I want to do more. So, and I told them from the very beginning, Like, this will go as far as you push it. And yesterday we had the local championships and they took first place. It was super cool to see. They didn't think they were going to do it. I was like, I knew since November. Chris was like, when did you know it? And I was like, November.
Yeah. Right.
Like, how do you know? I was like, I just knew. I knew the group of kids.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very familiar with the programs they're competing against. They're competing against 3 local programs that have been doing it for 20 plus years. And there's just not to speak negatively on any of these programs, but there's a level of fatigue that comes from just doing it, or compared to where you have a new group that's 2 years old and the kids want to be there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the only reason kids weren't coming to rehearsals was like they were sick in bed with a fever.
Yeah. Right. Right.
And even then some of them were like, hey, I'm going to wear a mask and come. And I'm like, man, like rest, please.
Right.
So it was really cool, and when you got here, I was like, man, I'm like hungover from every aspect of my life, like emotionally, physically. I had a drink when I got home, and I was just like, ugh.
Every weekend, I lose my voice. Because wrestling, you're yelling on the side. Right. It's loud. The gym's loud, the whole deal. But I had a gentleman that I coached with that was a Marine. His name was Ricky Mitchell. He passed away. We were at a tournament one time, and he reaches in his pocket and he pulls out Fisherman's Friend.
Okay. And
I'm like, what are you doing? And he was like, oh, I was like, you got a sore throat? He was like, no. He's like, I had a drill sergeant when I was in the Marines. He used to eat these things like Tic Tacs, never lost his voice. And he told me it was because of Fisherman's Friends. So I have Fisherman's Friend.
Are they lozenges?
Yeah. Yeah. So I have Fisherman's Friend in my bag at all times when I go. And it's helped me not lose my voice as much as I have in the past.
Yeah. It gets me when because we as much as we can, we rehearse in the gym. And I'm at the top of the gym, and they're on the floor, and every gym in Pittsburgh is boomy.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's like, dum, 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 dum. So, like, I have to yell. And, of course, like, I don't do a smart thing, like, get a speaker that's in the band room with a wireless microphone.
It's there. Why would I use it?
You know what? I already organized the space, and all 27 of the kids and all of the equipment. Why would I take one extra step for myself?
Yeah.
No, I'll just stand up here and scream and blow my voice out.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
But God, it's like, it's been so much fun to work. And as you know, like it's great to work with kids that want to be there.
Yeah.
You know, and whenever we go through like the recruitment process and kids are like, oh, I'm an audition. I'm like, and they're like, well, I have kids that have been in the group 2 or 3 years. They were like, I'm not going to do it. I'm like, cool. It's fine. Don't. Don't. If you don't want to be here, I don't want you to be here. Like Tom has that quote. He's like,
I was going to say, you glazed over something there real quick, and then you just moved along.
Which one was it?
With the Steeline.
The Steeline.
I mean, that was a thing you guys started as like not affiliated with the Steelers at all.
No. So a friend of mine, Vince Wallace, who's the director, he came back from grad school, and he had met some guys that had done it for the Seahawks and the Bears and the Bulls. And he was like, I just want to do this thing. So we got with one of our other buddies, Dustin Lowe's, and we, like, one was doing, like, writing the music, and one was doing, like, all the organizational work. And we just put together, in the first year, we, like, put out an ad on Facebook and Craigslist, and we just got a bunch of random drummers and started doing it in the tailgate for tips. Yeah. Like we weren't getting any money.
Yeah.
We were, like...
just for fun.
Yeah, we weren't even going into games. And then we got, like, the last game of the year. It was, like, one of those, like, games against the Browns. It didn't really mean anything. They brought us in, and then in the spring, they were like, hey, come on, we want to talk to you guys. I mean, I wasn't in there for the conversation, but they gave us a contract right away, which was interesting because the Eagles guys did it for 10 years before even getting a single game, so they did it for a long time just for the love of it. And in our first year, we got a game. We might have got 2. I don't really remember. It's been a while, but we got the contract with the Steelers like right away. And we've been doing this. Will be our 14th year in total, 13th with the Steelers. We do like 4 or so hours of tailgates, which is, as you know, as a 40-year-old man carrying around 40-pound drums for 4 hours. And
you're a young pup, dude. Come on, get out of here.
I'm fine, but a lot of the other guys struggle. But like, but looking at what the players go through, it's just a glimpse. But I can only imagine what those guys feel like. And out there running their bodies into each other. Yeah. But we sit like right on the field.
Yeah. Oh, every time there's a game, the kids look for you guys.
Yeah.
Every time we watch the game, they're like, "Where's Charlie? Where's Charlie?"
And we'll get some shots every once in a while. Yeah. And I always know when I have people there because like whenever they put us on the big screen, like the camera guys know who to come to, right? So I always get photos of people like, you're on the big screen, which has been fun. So that's what's been cool, because like that part of it's for me. You know what I mean? Like, like I do the Steeline so that I can continue to play, continue to work. And it's cool because like a lot of my students can like see like, oh, he's still out there doing it. Right. Like it's not like,
he's not just talking about
it. Right. And I know you're a physical coach.
Yeah.
Because I know you've like injured yourself or like hurt your, like.
Never.
But I think it's important when the kids, like, you know, if you go out and like run and stretch with the kids, like that goes a long way.
Absolutely.
You're putting yourself out there doing the same thing. And they'll always be like, I saw the video from Sunday, Mr. Houck. Like, that was a good one.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Good work.
Yeah.
So, you know, going back to where we're talking about like using the Mike Tomlinism, right, is I want volunteers, not hostages.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, and I've had kids that have been seniors and they're like, hey, I did it the past couple of years. I don't want to do it.
Burned out.
I got one of the kids that's just graduating now. I call them kids. I don't really like it's weird for me to call them kids. They're students. They're young. They're young
kids.
People.
We're old, dude.
I know, but I feel like they deserve a different level of respect than calling them kids.
Yeah.
He's a really good ultimate player, and I have a lot of the students in the progression section that are ultimate players, which I absolutely love because those kids are conditioned athletes because they're out. It's like it's soccer. You know what I mean? They run like soccer players.
Yeah,
it's not soccer. It's a completely different sport. Not to blend the two, because they're fighting the battle that we are for gym space in the wintertime. Because it's like, oh, it's like you're a new sport ultimate. You're not serious, or you're in the band. You know what I mean? So it's definitely a fight that we fight, but I think we're starting to get some traction.
I believe Rachel's cousin did that in California.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's what, ultimate or?
Yeah.
Oh, it's cool. You ever watch it? Like,
yeah.
We should go watch Pittsburgh has a pro team.
Really?
We should take the kids out and watch them sometime.
Oh my God.
Because I think they play at Highmark.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Speaking of Highmark, yesterday I picked Graham up thinking it's just me and him this weekend. The girls were out of town.
Yeah.
And I said, hey, you want to catch a Riverhounds game? I said, the Riverhounds are playing tonight. He was like, nah, I'm good. Okay, bud.
He's like, can we get some wings and pizza and watch?
Can we play Fortnite? Bro. It's like, if you bro me one more time, I'm going to poke your eyes out.
I'm going to bro you into tomorrow. Yeah. How about that?
Yeah. Bro, let's go. Like, you're such a meathead.
That is the best way to explain it, is he's just a little tiny meathead.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Someday when he's, you know, can actually put on body weight and hold mass, it'll be a problem.
Oh, yeah. Which way is the gym, bro?
Graham, I don't even think you can. They gotta find a stick for you.
Yeah, but right now.
Put a stick and some stones,
some
on
twigs.
The other. Yeah.
He complains every time he has to lift something up. Oh, God. Yeah.
I do think it's interesting that he's so like little and slick that like he didn't really get lit up in football. Like he was just able to slip out of everything.
Yeah. So I've been a proponent of him not playing football. Like I played football as well. I played football in college.
Yeah, we actually crossed paths like a little bit at IUP.
Yes, yeah. And I have a belief that you don't need to play youth football. Football is a sport that if you're athletic and you have that drive, you can pick the sport up in junior high and be fine.
Well, in flag football, there's so much flag football around here now.
The rules are different, though. It's like they have some crazy rules. Like you can't jump. Like you can't skip. Like you can't stiff arm. Like there's a lot of weird rules around that. And actually studies found there's more injuries, head injuries in flag football than there is in regular
there's no
contact football. Right. There's no protection.
Yeah, interesting.
Right. But he played flag football, and then he's really bugging. He's like, Dad, I really want to play football. I really want to play football. I really want to play football. I'm like, fine. Okay, I'll sign you up. And then I obviously got sucked into coaching that sport as well.
And you don't do anything half-assed.
Yeah. So I'm all in, right? Yeah. But yeah, he's little. He's the smallest guy on the team. Mm-hmm. And I used to joke with the other coaches and say, I think it's because they can't see him is why he doesn't get hit. Yeah. Like behind the line of scrimmage, he's so small that you can't see him. But he is a little slimy. He gets... He gets sideways, like he gets glancing blows. He doesn't get hit square up very often.
God, I used to love. I played little same when I was young in elementary school, which was great because I was always bigger than everybody, and I could push everybody around and just light people up. But then when I got into junior high and everybody was the same size, I'm like,
a little different story.
I'm gonna go join the band.
This sucks.
Y'all did too much running.
Yeah, that running thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then, then I, joining drum corps was a completely different animal because that was, based off of military, old
cadence.
Like, right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's come a long way from that, right?
Yeah.
But it was originally started from like military bands.
Yeah. Right.
Like it's called corps, corps for a reason.
Yeah.
And anymore, it's developed into they do so much, there's so much moving at that level, right?
Right.
But it's always been very regimented, lots of PT, which is cool because it's the marching arts have come a long way, and it's a sport now. Like we do a lot of reps, and when they leave, they're sweaty. Yeah. And we recently had a community night, which was great. It was packed gym. It was awesome. Like, and we did a lot of like, this is what a typical rep looks like. And it was like, cool, we'll do it. Reset, do it again, reset. And I had one of the parents come up to me, and he'd actually like traveled with us went to a regional, and he's helped out a lot. And he comes up and he's like, now I understand why when she comes home, she's exhausted.
Yeah.
And his daughter, she's in 10th grade. She's a fantastic softball star. Like she's in 10th grade, and she made the Hampton varsity team 2 years in a row. She's an absolute killer. But like, that doesn't stop her when she comes. Like she'll leave a softball game and come and eat and put her drum on and run her butt off.
Yeah. Well, it's because she wants to be there.
Yeah.
Again, it goes back to the drive and the want. Right?
Exactly.
Like you said, you don't want hostages.
Yeah. Well, and it was cool because like this smaller group is like, it's easy for them to buy in.
Yeah.
Because if you're the one standing out, like it's noticeable. And we've had a couple kids in the past, and they just fizzle out or they fall in line. But he was like, man, now I understand why she's so exhausted.
Yeah.
But it's cool. And I'm so proud of those kids because like none of them just do pipe. And some of them are doing everything. Yeah. They're working, they're helping with the stage crew, they're in the pit for the musical, they're playing ultimate, they're playing softball, like
they're involved in other things. And I think that's probably one of the biggest things that I try to drive into our kids is the extracurriculars are what mold you as a person, right? Whether it's sport or band or whatever it is, doesn't matter. Yeah. But there's lessons that are taught in those things that will stay with you for life.
Exactly. And the Hampton kids, I applaud them all because they're all honors students.
Yeah.
Every single one of them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is wild. Yeah. Like, they're all doing that much, having honors classes.
Yep. Emlyn had a little rough go at the state championship, at the 2 state championships. They have 2 youth state championships in Pennsylvania for some reason.
Well, it's tough because like you were talking about earlier, you have a different variety of experiences.
Yeah. And a little rough go. And we had some conversations. She threw a little bit of a tantrum at the one.
Yeah.
And we had a conversation, and it's like, look, and it's tough to teach this to an 11-year-old. I mean,
right.
There's things about this sport that are really difficult that are going to teach you things about life that this is going to equip you for later on. And how you react to a lot of these things is important.
When it's hard because you don't want to take the emotion out of it for them.
Oh, absolutely not.
Because the emotion's what's cool.
Yeah.
And I talked about this, it's like to the group in the community show. I was like, when you push kids to be passionate and you redirect them or correct them, they'll come back at you with passion.
Yeah.
Because that's what you're encouraging them to do.
Yeah.
And it was interesting because I had went up to one of my seniors. His name's Brody. He was one of my dogs, right? Like bottom bass drum, carrying the big 28-inch drum. I was like, hey, this. And he's like, I'm trying, man. I'm like, I know.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah.
And that was like, I was like, oh, like, like we had like a little thing there for a minute. And I walked up and I was like, I was like, when you ask a kid to be, when you ask a student to be passionate and then you challenge them, they're going to come back at you.
100%.
And it's so cool to allow that and then work through it.
I agree.
It's like, he's not being disrespectful.
No.
And I'm not being disrespectful.
Yeah.
But we might like raise our voices. But then that dude, at the beginning and end of every rehearsal comes up, dab, hug, I'll see you tomorrow, bro.
Yeah.
Yes, sir, Mr. Hawk. Thank you, sir.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like,
multiply that times 1,000 when you're coaching your own kid.
Oh yeah. No, I get it. I understand. I mean, if Evie has her ways, like someday she'll be in and it's not far.
Yeah. No. And so I have this conversation with Emlyn all the time because I'm coaching and I'm yelling. Because it's loud and I'm just yelling.
Oh, and she's used to when dad yells.
Yeah. And she gets mad at me on the mat and yells back at me. So I tell her, I said, hey, would you yell Coach Bill like this? No. What about Coach John? No, absolutely not. I said, then why are you yelling at me?
Well, and you and her have this thing where you challenge each other.
Yeah.
And Evie and I do this thing where we'll go back and forth. And Kristen doesn't like it. I'm like, hey, we're just bantering. Like we're just going back and forth, taking shots at each other. Like she needs to learn how this works and know the line. And it's okay to step over the line. She came on every trip with us this year when we went to Indianapolis.
She sees the process.
Yeah. Yeah. And she said to me last night, she's like, you think next year I can have a uniform? Then I can, when we're at these shows, I can just go with the kids. I won't stick out. And I was like, whatever you want, baby girl.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm hoping to be able to roll back from coaching Isla. That just sounds like a bad proposition.
She's going to be, I'm telling you, she's going to be incredible. She's got she's got so much fire.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's she's like a little bit of both of them. Yeah. Right? She's got Graham's meathead in Emmy's mouth.
Yes.
Right. Well,
yeah. Yeah.
When Steve's youngest started wrestling, I was like, man, she's going to love it.
Yeah.
Because she got that passion.
Yeah,
she's got that drive.
Yep.
And, and I think you had a conversation with him because he was having the same feelings. Like, I hate to go out there and see her lose. So you got to let her.
Yeah.
I was like, when he started, I was like, I'm telling you, she's going to be great. You don't want to pay for college? Let that girl wrestle.
Yeah.
Because she's strong. Man, we'll be at the pool. She'll come up and grab onto me. And I was like, oh, good.
Fastest growing sport in the country.
Yeah.
Women's wrestling. It's crazy.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's
amazing. They're looking for girls all over the place. Mm-hmm. It's truly amazing. And it's a good, I remember when I was in high school, we had a girl on our team and she was the only girl.
It was,
it was rough for her.
Yeah.
I mean, we had a kid that was around her weight that used to beat her up, on a daily basis. And she just came to practice every day and just took her beatings and moved on. Right. And at one point she wrestled someone in a dual meet. We sent her out there and she ended up pinning the kid.
Yeah.
We were like, what just happened?
Yeah.
But silently she just got better because she was getting her butt kicked every day. But I applaud her like nothing else.
Yeah.
I mean, to be there with the boys all the time, just constantly. And you're talking about high school level. This isn't youth wrestling. Youth wrestling is different, right? There's some girls out there that would absolutely hammer boys.
And these were in the beginnings of Title IX, right? In PA, I don't know what's in other places, but in PA, that was when it started.
Yeah.
And it was still rough back then.
Yeah.
It was, even though it was like a legislation, it was not always accepted.
No.
And you were out in Burl, right?
Yeah.
You were out in the sticks.
Yeah.
A little bit. Yeah. I was a little further out. We was a little.
Yeah, I mean.
You were just pink in the neck. We was full on. We were
full on red. Yep. Yeah, we had Upper Burl was the picnics, Right.
Yeah. Yeah, but it was just different in those cultures. But sometimes you went out to some schools and they had the farm girl on the wrestling team and nobody wanted to go.
No.
Nobody wanted to step in the ring.
It's a losing proposition.
Yeah, that's right.
You win, you beat a girl.
Right. Yeah.
You lose, you lost to a girl.
You lost to a girl. Yeah.
So
it's cool to see that all change and grow.
Yeah.
Honestly, at Hampton, ever since I've been there has been more girls than boys.
Yeah.
And you, at one point, you were going to teach. You were hoping to get the high school girls.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was like, dude, you're going to fucking love it because high school girls are a different animal.
I've noted. We've talked about this. You and I have talked about this. Coaching girls is so much easier than coaching boys. What I've learned with working close with Emlyn is the boys just want to go out there and roll. They just want to grab somebody's arm and try to rip it off.
Smash their forehead into another guy's
100%.
Yeah.
The girls want to do the move exactly right.
That's right. That's it.
And it's real finite, right? It's like, this is how I do this move.
And the difference between males and females and understanding emotions in that level, and that's when it's apparent. We've always had a high level of girls in the group.
Yeah.
And I love it. Absolutely love it. Because it when you have a culture, especially with female leadership like that, it rises everybody to be at that level.
We got a little off topic there.
We did get a little. I think it was good though. I like it. Yeah,
I do too.
I think they're going to be like,
that's more like
they're
us.
in there talking about farts and penises. Was it M that found a picture of Beavis and Butthead and they're like, oh, look, it's Charlie and Geoff.
We've been trying to get Graham and Elliot to go as Beavis and Butthead for years, and they won't do it.
Yeah.
They are Beavis and Butthead.
The next time we do this, we should do it with Sam.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
Sam.
Yeah.
I know Sam is he's an avid listener.
Yeah, he is.
And Sam's the man.
Yeah.
He's got some amazing experiences and looks on things from a completely different culture.
Yeah, right.
And he's got the cool Australian accent where it's like he just is always left happy hour.
Yeah, absolutely. He's always feeling good.
Love you, big fella.
That's absolutely. That's my dog.
Every time I see him, I'm like she's like, oh, Sam's like, yes, let's go. I think one of my favorite days last year is when we were all at the house and like we went on and bought beers and we just drank stouts all night. That was a fucking great night. Yeah, it was just three of us just duding around.
Yeah. That was not the night where you burned the tip of your toe on the solo stove.
That was not that. I was like, no, it's not that bad. And I kept putting it up there and hitting the same spot.
Yeah. we have a solo stove, and we were all sitting around, and Charlie thought it was going to be a great idea to kick his shoes off and put his little toesy on the solo stove. Yeah. Yep. He learned the tip of his toe, right in my socks. Lost its skin. Burned a hole right through a sock.
And I was like, oh, it's the cold ground feels good. And I'm like, oh, now my toe's cold. I'll put it back up and I'm burning again.
So the girls gave us like an agenda to follow. I told them I'm not following it, but maybe we can see. Yeah.
Kristen did put some work into some games and things. And
so we have to do those.
We have to do some of those.
Yep.
Let's read through them. And if anything strikes us, we can. We did the intro. We killed the intro.
We killed the intro. Playfully roast their wives. That's easy.
I think we already kind of covered that, right? And I do enjoy their back and forth, and Rachel is always great at pointing out Kristen's shelteredness with popular culture. I'm like, how do you not know some of these things?
What about Rachel's shelteredness with words?
Can't really call her out for that because sometimes I'm like, yeah, well, I know, I understand. But I think my favorite was the Buddhism one.
Buddhism?
Yeah.
She had one today. She has one daily. Daily.
Rachelism.
She had one today. She meant to say curmudgeon and said McCrudgeon. It's like, I have a guy that I worked with, right? That like he would talk about McCutcheon. And he used to call him McCrushins.
McCrushins.
Yeah. So I'm thinking McCrudgeon. Yeah. I'm like, yep.
The moon thing was also a catastrophe.
Oh my God.
I mean, every time you bring him, she tries to play it off.
Yeah. Like that's a big deal.
She's like, I know there's people out there that agree with me. I'm like,
Rach, there is. And no.
They also think there's an ice wall at the end of the flat world.
There's those people.
Yeah.
If Rachel tells me that the world's flat, we're going to have a problem.
No. She also thinks it's a good idea for the Steelers to sign Aaron Rodgers.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Let's move on past that one. Let's just dust the big guy off out of retirement.
I mean, the only person that we have that can throw the ball right now is Mason Rudolph.
Yeah. Which I'm cool with. I saw the big guy with the helmet on. I was like, let's dust off number 7 and bring him back. Might as fucking well.
He'd be good for about 4 games, and then his arm's gonna fall off. Get hit a couple times. He's like, fuck this. I'm staying retired.
Can we just have Mason play 3 quarters and we'll just bring Ben out for the 4th?
As long as Mason can keep his helmet on.
Oh my God. Lose
a face mask.
I was there. They was having it right in front of us when he got laid out. Remember when it was Earl Thomas?
Yeah, and they took his face mask off.
Okay, I'm remembering all of this. So then that happened. He's laying on the ground. He's completely unconscious. They're trying to start the cart right beside us. And it's just doing one of those. And then they all carry him off and they took his helmet off. Poor Mason Rudolph's had a go of it. There's a thing I've been hearing about. We have this other podcast idea.
Oh my God.
Singlets and Dinkles. I think everybody understands what a singlet is, but a dinkle is a brand of marching shoe. I believe if my last name was Dinkle, I would have chosen another name for my shoe. But I think pretty much what we did in the beginning of the podcast is what that a podcast.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing. What was the other thing I said? Oh, band hats and jock straps.
Band hat and jock straps. Yeah. Shakos and jock straps. Yeah. And then my favorite one that I always love to talk about is it would be a podcast called "Talking with Your Mouth Full."
Yes,
where we would just eat snacks and talk about the history of snacks and what goes good with them. I think that would work. It doesn't have to be long.
No.
But people just have to get used to it's like buffalo chicken dip goes great.
I'm pretty sure the Kelseys do that already.
Do they?
Yeah, like every once in a while you'll hear Jason.
Yeah.
I
mean, we're kind of cut from the same cloth as him, though.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously he's a higher level athlete. But I think from a personality standpoint, I think we're very similar.
I think there's a few people out there that I would love to just hang out with.
Yeah,
he's definitely one of them.
He's one of them. I saw him, actually.
Yeah.
I think it was the Thursday night game where like the storm rolled through.
Yeah.
And it was a delay. And it was just pandemonium.
Yeah.
Chris Letang was there. Penguins defenseman. Yeah. Super cool. Great looking. Goodness gracious.
That's a good looking man.
He just looks at him like, hi. And then I'm like walking down and Jason's walking the other way and they're like talking to him. And, he's like looking a little overwhelmed. And he's like got a suit on. His beard's trimmed up. And I just like put my fist out. I'm like, stay strong, brother. I was like, thanks, man. Fist bump. I text Chris and I was like, I just fist bumped my twin brother.
I think the girls are undersold on the Jason and Travis thing. They named these microphones Jason and Travis, right? And they never like blasted.
They never, they would love that. I think they would love that. Is even though Travis has all this fame now, is he goes on there and he's still just.
But I think they're still real. I think they're real dudes.
I don't think Jason will let him not be real.
Yeah, right.
Like, because if he goes out there and does something crazy, he's gonna be like, "Yo, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like that is not who you are."
Yeah,
and I think that's important.
Yeah,
I think that's what a lot of these guys miss is that person that's. Like,
I love the story of when he got drafted, and he said, "If I give you this chance, are you gonna fuck it up?"
Yeah.
And he was like, "No, sir. I he's like, is your brother there, Jason?" He was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Put him on the phone."
Yeah.
So Andy Reid hit Jason up and was like, "Is your brother? Is his mind right? Is he ready? Is he going to fuck this up if I give him the opportunity?" He's like, "No, he's ready."
Yeah.
He's like, "Good." And that's their bond, their brotherhood.
Well,
right?
and in that podcast episode, the Big Red is great because Big Red drafted both of them.
Yeah.
Andy Reid is a national treasure.
Oh,
he
absolutely.
Really is.
It was way underrated. Way underrated as a coach. It's funny, well, going back to the coaching thing, talking about the difference between the two sports, right? Wrestling, there's obviously prep in everything that you coach, right? There's always prep.
Well, good coaches will prep.
But this year with football, I was like, God, like watching film, setting up a game plan for the week, like there was so much more prep.
You guys did a lot, even with the little guys. Like
yes.
you had a lot of film. I remember I came over one time and we went to the she shed.
Yeah.
Or as I call it, the womb room.
The womb room.
They fucked up. They didn't fuck up. But my contribution to the podcast was I was like, you should call it. You should say live from the womb room.
Yeah,
it's two missing mamas, or I always love the idea of it's illegal to murder your husband. Which
in case they ever decide to.
I think my wife could just run that one on her own. Yeah. I think I give her
enough ammo.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring in some more beers.
I like your style.
She probably doesn't have her phone on her. We can call Rachel.
Isn't it recording you? Her phone's recording you. It's right there in front of you.
And Rachel's is right there.
Are you kidding me?
No. This tracks.
Hold on. Watch this. Ma! Ma! Meatloaf!
Kristen!
Rapid fire questions.
Okay. All right.
Ready?
Yeah.
Favorite color?
Blue. What about you?
It's a good color. Yeah, blue.
I'm just surrounded by blue.
Yeah.
Hampton's blue. So.
Yeah. If you had a personal theme song that played every time you walked into a room, what it would be?
I'm
blanking. I'm
it's tough.
Yeah.
We have to ask the girls. They're better at it. But I think Kristen would agree with mine.
That's a good one. Hey, if there was a song that played every time I walked into a room, what would it be?
Jingle bells, jingle bells.
Jingle bells.
What?
No. Would it be the Greatest Showman? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Zoom.
Yeah.
Zoom, zoom.
You're probably, I think a country song.
A country song?
Ooh. Evie, what about for me?
No. For you? I think you would walk into Kelsey's party.
Okay.
I think it would have been better if they would have asked what our walkout music would be.
Oh, yeah.
I think that would be it.
Stone Cold.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun. No.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, that's good.
Let's see. What's your dream superpower?
Superpower? I always struggle with this one because I'm like, maybe flight. No, teleportation.
Oh,
yeah,
that's a good one.
I hate driving sometimes.
Yeah.
As much as I like driving, sometimes I hate it.
Yeah.
What about you?
My initial was flight.
Flight.
Just to be able to see things from a different angle.
Yeah.
You get there a lot faster, so it kind of doubles up on your teleportation thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you weren't not there all the time.
You definitely would miss the views for teleporting.
Yeah.
But you could just like, oh, I want to see from up there. I'm gonna teleport to a mountain.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but you know, you miss all the beautiful sights on the way.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
I like how we're talking through this.
Yeah. Rapid fire.
What's the weirdest thing you've ever eaten?
Oh my God. What rating do we want?
Jesus. Good Lord.
Weirdest thing I've ever eaten. I think Evie loves making concoctions for me to eat. I don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah. My favorite that she's ever made for me was like ketchup strawberries.
Ketchup on strawberries?
Mm-hmm.
Are you nuts?
Yeah, you gotta try it. It's different.
So on that weird note thing, so my dad was always, it was peanut butter and everything, right?
Okay.
Peanut butter and cucumber.
Oh.
That's fire.
I bet that would be good.
Yeah, it's fire.
Yeah.
On toasted bread, right?
I'm going to try that.
We always did peanut butter and banana. That's like a normal thing.
Peanut butter and butter?
Never
done peanut butter and
no,
butter?
but I do butter and jelly.
Butter? Yeah.
Yeah.
But you should try peanut butter and butter on a sandwich.
I got one for you.
Yeah.
It's going to blow your mind.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to be like, you're disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
Peanut butter and bologna.
Yeah, I'm not disgusted by that at all.
It's fire.
Well, Paul.
So I still, sorry, didn't mean to interrupt.
No, you're good.
I'm channeling my inner Rachel,
okay.
interrupting you.
We're flowing. We're
flowing.
We're in a flow state.
I still get a hankering for one of these sandwiches every once in a while.
Okay.
So I'll buy bologna and peanut butter, and I'll make a couple of these sandwiches. And I like in my brain, I'm like, why the hell am I doing this?
What kind of peanut butter? You're talking about creamy,
Just
crunchy?
Regular. It could be either.
It doesn't matter. I don't care. Yeah.
But I like at this point, there's this peanut butter that I really like because they use roasted peanuts. And it's called Santa Cruz.
Okay.
And they have chunky and they have creamy.
Mm-hmm.
But it's no stir, but it's all natural.
Yeah.
So it's not like that separated oil and but it's really good.
Yeah.
A little on the pricey side, but it's delicious.
Right. Well, supposedly there's a lot of stuff that's terrible for you in the cheap peanut butter.
Yeah. So, this is
cheap peanut butter family.
Yeah, but okay, we're worried about peanut butter, and then I'm putting bologna on the fucking sandwich.
Yeah, you're putting
it's like assholes and lips on it. Yeah, it's like fucking. It's a hot dog's cousin.
I would definitely, and I'm going to try that. My father-in-law loves peanut butter and mayonnaise.
That's fucking psychotic.
It's not bad. It's actually.
You tasted it?
Yeah, I know. I had Kristen make me one.
That's fucking crazy.
It makes the peanut butter creamier. That's a very white person thing to do, though.
Oh,
you take white bread, you put peanut butter on one side and mayonnaise on the other. Not the Miracle Whip.
Not that Miracle Whip. You got to get that Hellman's mayonnaise.
But I think
that's another thing. Hold on. What's your stance on ketchup? See, I have a firm stance on ketchup. Are there multiple brands of ketchup, or is there only one?
No, there's only one.
There is only one.
There is only one.
Heinz.
There can only be one.
Yes.
Yeah.
I agree. 100%.
Yeah.
Anytime people bring in some other ketchup, I'm like, you're a fucking psychopath.
Get that.
There's something wrong with you.
You can combine Hunt's and ketchup and come up with another word that's for it that I'm sure if we say it on here, we'll get yelled at.
The guys at work, so Volkswagen, listen to this craziness.
Yeah.
Volkswagen, their number one and number two selling SKU in the parts catalog in Germany are bratwurst and this curry ketchup that they sell.
Have you ever ordered them?
So we had someone that tried it.
Yeah.
And they said it was delicious.
I'm sure.
But I was like, out of principle, I'm not going to try that because there is only one ketchup. Yeah.
I do love putting some sriracha in ketchup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you're still using Heinz ketchup.
Yeah. Depends.
You're a normal person.
If sometimes Kristen will just buy whatever's at Aldi's. But Evie will give her crap for it first. Atta girl.
Yeah.
I think my weird food thing comes from my old man. He's one of those one plate.
Yeah.
Everything on one plate.
Everything on one.
Yep.
See, I'm a little bit neurotic with the touching.
Oh, yeah.
No. It's fine now, but for the longest time, my food can't be touching each other.
He loves buffets, but he doesn't like going up many times.
Yeah.
So when he goes up, he loads a plate.
Yep.
Yeah. He's one of those Thanksgiving.
Mix that all. It's all going to the same place.
It's all going to the same place. Yep.
I love it.
That's where that comes from.
If you had to be reincarnated as an animal, what would it be?
A hippopotamus.
I mean, if you want to go on the Brock Lesnar, a silverback gorilla.
Dude,
I mean, that's the same dude.
Yeah. Or hippopotamus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hippopotamus is cool.
Hippopotamus are cool.
crushing watermelons. You ever see those videos?
Yeah.
They put watermelon in there and they
watermelon,
just eat that sucker like it's a Tic Tac.
That's like a blueberry for us.
Yeah, right. I would say some sort of apex cat, like a lion or
a fucking mountain lion.
Yeah.
I saw a video today. Kristen showed me of some fucking Russian dude.
Because there ain't many things that fuck with those.
No, some fucking Russian dude let a mountain lion in his house. I was like, dude, you are.
Russia is a different place.
It's a different place.
People are built different. You know? It's just like you're out of your fucking mind.
I think a better version of that question would be: is what athlete would you like to be reincarnated as?
Oh my God!
If you could pick one.
I mean, man, there's Bo Jackson.
Bo Jackson. That's a great one.
He might be the best athlete of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hands down.
Well, and you know what's crazy is if he would have been a modern athlete, his injury, he would have just picked up and carried on.
Well, that injury, they say, that I watched a documentary on that, and they say that injury, the only reason that he had that injury was because of his size and strength.
Oh.
So the way he planted his foot caused his hip to break in the hip and pelvis to break in the way it did because of the force that was created by his own body.
Why was I thinking it was he blew his ACL or something?
No, it was a hip. Yeah.
Okay.
That was the craziest thing. I remember seeing it live.
Really?
As a kid, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. It was like
he's a fantastic athlete.
Dude, I had the iconic poster on my wall as a kid. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm a little bit older than Charles over here. Mm-hmm. He's a little bit younger than I am. But I had that poster. He had a pair of Rydell power shoulder pads on with a bat over top and his arms hanging on it. And it was just like his friggin' arms was gigantic.
Yeah.
I mean, he was 240 pounds.
Yeah.
And they say he ran a hand time. Now it's a little different. Like nowadays they run like with a fully automatic time. So it's a little bit slower.
Right.
So when these guys are running like a 4.3 and a 4.2, hand time, they're like 4.1.
Yeah.
And they say he ran a 4.1 at 240 pounds.
240.
That's bananas.
What about some of those linemen this year? Did you see that?
Did you see that dude from Florida? The mammoth 6'6", 453 pounds?
Who was he?
Desmond something.
Desmond Ritter was a quarterback.
Yeah, no, Desmond something. But anyways, the dude is built like his mid core is gigantic. Like his butt and his thighs and his midsection are huge.
Yeah.
So you put someone like that in the middle, it's like having Hamp again.
Yeah.
Right? Like Hamp was a beast.
Yeah.
And Hamp isn't that tall.
I love photos of Hamp in his helmet because that helmet did not fit that man.
No. His head was like up here. Yeah.
They talk about how good of a guy he is, though.
Oh, my God. I met him.
Yeah?
A friend of mine was friends with him. Mm-hmm. And I went to dinner with them once.
Yeah.
We went to the Capitol Grill.
Oh.
And Hamp, I walked in, and Hamp was sitting at the table in sweatpants and a T-shirt.
Classic look.
I was like, bro, like, we're at the fucking Capitol Grill. He's like, I don't give a fuck.
And then he's like, I'll take the menu.
He ate a steak and a family-sized lobster and mac and cheese.
I'm sure he did. Yeah.
You got to keep them calories up at the time. Mm-hmm. That's the only way. Dude, he was a great dude. He really was. Yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah.
And I've seen pictures of him lately. He's slimmed down.
Like he did not get enough praise when he retired.
Oh, he was awesome. Yeah. I mean, anytime as a defensive tackle you can take up 2 blockers, you're doing your job.
And that was in the time where the linemen were starting to get bigger and stronger.
Yeah. I mean, Aaron Donald, Pittsburgh guy, right? Freak of nature. The archetype, the body type, it just doesn't match up for his position.
Right.
And he played more of a 3 technique, so he's a little bit outside.
Right.
Not outside, but he's, a little different. Where Hamp was a true nose because the Steelers ran a 3-4.
And he was taking the big guys on in the middle.
Yeah. It's like Vince Wilfork, right?
Yeah.
Vince was
that guy was
I loved him.
Hilarious.
Yeah, I love
so funny.
Super like farm boy.
Yeah.
Like just absolutely had the big overalls on with his come on, bro. How can you not love that dude?
They're like, hey, what'd you got on? He's like,
I hated overalls. That he was for the Patriots because we had so many like run-ins with the Patriots through those years. But yeah, you want to talk about a good dude. Yeah. I mean, the dude was just, again, mammoth of a human being, 400-pound dude. Mm-hmm. If he wasn't it's just not, sometimes they talk about these weights. I'm like getting off
but like you gotta look at the guy.
Like there is no way on earth that Jerome Bettis was 265 pounds his last 2 or 3 years in Pittsburgh. No Absolutely no way.
Yep. But
he was all of 3 bills.
But he was so awesome to watch.
Yeah.
When he'd get going, like, and nothing would make me more excited. He'd get up and do his dance.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's like we're going. That's it. It's on.
Well, and to go back real quick again on this, we're watching, another legend here with Cam Hayward and his longevity of his life, who is just like a stand-up human being.
I mean, yeah.
Incredible.
I love what he said about Rodgers, right? It's like, I don't care. I'm not going to no dark cave with you. You either want to play for the Steelers, you either want to be a Steeler or you don't.
Yep.
And that's the attitude, right? That's what you love.
Well, and if you're talking about like a list of guys that are iconic Steelers, like he is becoming one.
Through the years, I mean, you guys have had connections just because of what you've done. I mean, Kristen's had connections with some.
Kristen's tight with his wife.
Yep. But like, James Harrison, that's another one. So I have a good friend that's tight friends with him, and James, you get past the like, he looks like a scary ass
human being. Yeah, and he's still jacked.
Yeah, he's huge.
He still gets it too. He still works out
100%. He's a workout freak. He loves working out. Yeah. Right.
Some of those guys, they need that to be sane.
But he's a cool dude. Right. Yeah. Like I've had some interactions with him where we've done some transactions with cars and things like that.
Yeah.
He's a good dude every time.
I have a buddy that owns he runs a float spa.
Yeah.
In Cranberry.
Yeah.
And he's like James is in there all the time. Like he'll
takes care of himself.
Yeah, he really
100%.
does. And he'll come in and he'll like block out floating pods.
And that's why he had the longevity that he had, because he was such a workout freak.
It was when he first came out, and Steve McNair was playing for the Ravens.
Oh, yeah.
And he was just a terror.
Yes.
We're talking interceptions, strip sacks. Like,
what about the year when he came back, right? He came back to the Steelers after being gone, came back, and everybody's like all down on him, like he's washed up. And then we played I think it was the Ravens. It might have been the Bengals, but either way, he had the game of his life. I mean, it was insane.
This was the one where he had the yellow helmet on.
Yes.
Go watch that.
Yeah.
That is,
I mean, just crazy.
And it's not like a highlight of the game. It's James Harrison highlights, and it's like a 15-minute long video.
Yeah. Some of the other stuff that it just came through my head, right? Some of the we look at these guys as heroes, right? Because they're athletes and they're on TV all the time and all this other stuff. And we don't think about some of the other things that they go through.
Right.
One person in particular that I think about, and the stress, and they made a movie about it, right? But Roger Maris, I mean, going through the stress of the time of breaking the record for most home runs in a year. I mean, he had hate mail and all kinds of other craziness. Like, I couldn't even imagine going through that.
I can't imagine being that hateful towards someone.
Right. Just because they're doing something exceptional.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Oh, what's one conspiracy theory you secretly want to be true?
I really don't think they want us to go down the conspiracy theory rabbit hole.
I'm not a conspiracy theory guy.
I love them. Yeah, I mean, let's just move on past this one because this one
could get ugly. Would you rather time travel 100 years into the past or future?
I'm probably going past.
Yeah, I agree with that. Do you get to bring your knowledge and technology with you?
We're time traveling, so we're traveling right now. We can touch on this because I think this is like a conspiracy theory, is the fact that like people think that this is the first go-around of humans. I don't think so.
It's not.
No.
I think there's other. I think we've done this before. I think there's life cycle to it. I think there's so many times. I don't know how many you get, but.
Well, I mean, we live on a rock that flies through space.
Sure.
It's, think that it's never going to get struck by something that could destroy everything is not believable. It kind of makes me think about it in a very basic is like you look at trees. All the trees around us.
Right.
This is the first time them trees have grown. You know what I mean?
Well, they grow because of the seeds and leaves and shit that drop.
Exactly.
Right.
But you think that's the first time that we've that's a that tree that's out there that's 100+ years old. Like that's the first time a tree's grown in that spot.
No,
exactly.
No, there's another tree in that spot. It's not the same tree though. Right. It's a different tree.
And we live in a world where the victors have wrote history.
Yes, correct.
Yeah. So
what's the real story?
We don't know. We'll never know.
Yeah. Talking about trees, something that was fascinating to me is we went to the redwoods. We went to Muir Woods, and the redwoods are awesome, majestic, right? This giant ass tree drops this pine cone that's about this big. Like it's the craziest thing ever.
Like the size of a quarter.
Yeah. It's insane.
Yeah. Wow. And that grows that.
Yes.
All right, so I think the way that this game works is we're supposed to guess if...
I thought they were supposed to help us with this shit.
Will you explain this?
You need to hold our hands.
Yeah. So if I'm understanding it correctly, is we're supposed to guess if these are spirits, as in drinks, or what?
A legit spiritual practice or terminology.
Spiritual practice.
You got to hold that up to the camera first.
Right.
Hold on.
This one says hand fasting. We did this at our wedding, right?
Oh, good job.
Yeah. So this is not a drink.
This is not a drink.
This is a wedding ceremony. Yeah. The Green Fairy.
That's a drink.
I think this is a drink. The nickname of absinthe. So that's a drink.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. El Dorado.
El Diablo.
El Diablo. This is a fucking
God.
drink. This is a god. We both went to IUP. This is a drink. Yeah, this is a flaming. Yeah. Yeah.
El Diablo. El Dorado.
Dorado. The Root Awakening. Oh, this is the root chakra.
Yeah, the root chakra.
Yeah.
You think we're not spiritual?
Yeah. 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 Angel's Trump.
Trumpet. Jesus, dude. You're teaching the youth of America. You can't even read.
I'm teaching them to play music, bro. We're not talking English.
God. Angel's Trumpet. Oh, man, that's...
if it was a drink, something with Angel's Envy, maybe.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's a ritual, so it's spiritual.
It's a highly poisonous flower they use in shamanic rituals.
There you go.
The fact that you know that scares the fuck out of me.
My wife is a witch.
Well, yeah. Yeah. Shit's going down.
Black Mirror.
That's a drink.
Drink?
Nope.
It's spiritual.
Get out of here.
Using for scaring. What's that word?
Scrying.
Scrying. What the hell is scrying?
Seeing visions, divination.
It's a drink.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
What is it? You gotta tell them.
Florida water.
Oh, Florida water. Spiritual.
No.
Using the cleaning of energy.
It's a cologne.
All right, you read that one.
The Akashic record.
I mean, this is some sort of spiritual thing.
It has to be.
It has to be.
It's not a drink.
We're not dumb. Spiritual. Yeah, you read those words.
No. Whoa. Yeah, okay.
You know, he told her
A
to-
cosmic library of knowledge, of all knowledge.
Yep. Pranayama.
Pranayama or pranayama.
This is some sort of spiritual thing. Spiritual, mindful breathing technique. Yeah.
So this one, I think they're trying to trick you.
The Holy Ghost.
I mean, come on. Like,
I hope if it's a drink, let's make it. It's a spirit. She is trying to drink this. A brandy, bourbon-based cocktail.
That's a trick question. I mean, because it's spiritual
Holy
too.
Ghost, yeah.
The Holy Ghost.
Montefilia Padre.
What was the El Dorado? God.
El Dorado.
Oh my God.
Yeah. One time, so we were doing, they're called Dr. Pepper shots.
Oh yeah, the flaming Dr. Peppers.
Mm-hmm. Well,
yeah.
it's important that when
you
make
blow it out first.
No. You have to have enough Bud Light in the cup to drown out the water.
Yeah.
Or drown out the flaming, whatever, the 151. So if you drop it in, there's not enough beer and you go drink it.
You're still on fire.
It burns your eyebrows.
Yeah. You sound like you know that from experience.
Yep.
There was something else that I thought of when we were going through that, and I can't remember what it was. Oh, man.
Because I think a flaming Dr. Pepper is Bud Light, Amaretto, and 151.
Yeah.
And you drop it in there.
Boom.
Boom. Light on fire.
Yeah. Blow it out.
It was also in a red Solo cup. So
What?
not only did I burn my eyebrows off,
We're just built different.
that's why I don't get sick.
I know. I tell you all the time.
Yeah.
I don't get sick because I wrestled.
Yep.
All the germs in the wrestling room, and I swam in the Allegheny River.
Yeah. No, I lived in an IUP fraternity house.
Makes sense. Were we supposed to do some sort of tarot card thing reading?
So Kristen will be very excited about this. So we'll just do one for each other.
Okay.
And I think we read it and we try to figure out what the card means.
What it means.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to be way off. Well, I'm going to be way off. I can tell you that. I just got to pick one.
Yeah, pick one.
And this is for you.
This is for me. Tell me what it means.
This is the one that's speaking to me right now.
That's what's speaking to you. What's it say?
It's the King of Wands.
King of Wands.
We pulled this earlier.
Did we? Is it?
The girls pulled this, didn't they?
Yeah, I think Isla pulled that earlier.
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
That's so
What do you
crazy.
think the King of Wands means?
I mean, some Harry Potter shit. right there.
I mean,
he's got a giant stick with some leaves growing out of it.
King for a king, right?
Yeah. Let's see what's on here. Looks like there's a lion on here.
There would be
a gecko. Yeah, there's a couple lizards.
Let's talk to you about your insurance.
Yeah.
All right, I'm just going to take this one on the top. I got the Ace of Wands.
Oh, that's the one they pulled. What's going on here?
We both pulled wands.
Yeah.
I mean, Ace is the most powerful card in the deck, right? Also the weakest card in the deck.
Depends on what game you're playing.
Depends on what game you're playing.
Right.
I feel like this has something to do with knowing that when to wield your power, like we were talking about with coaching the kids, right? With coaching is understanding your ability to use your voice as power. Let
me ask you a question. When you do the band instruction, do you do like some conductor type shit?
No. I'm a drummer. I use a metronome with a loudspeaker. I do have to instruct the drum majors sometimes because I have to have like here. So I teach them that it's called the ict. Your ict has to have like you're hitting something so they know 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So I can a little bit, but I don't. I like this.
I think we're better than girls.
I wasn't going to say it, but I will agree.
I will.
I will agree. Well, I love you.
Love you too.
My brother from another mother.
You got it.
We definitely connected quickly when we first met.
Oh, yeah.
And we've been tight ever since.
Absolutely.
Which is great because...
I know what it was.
Yes, sir.
Hold on, real quick story.
Yeah.
Probably one of the coolest things, we were talking about the Steeline earlier, right? Probably one of the coolest things I've ever seen was at your wedding. Because we were talking about that thing. You did this hand ritual at your wedding.
Yes.
Right? So Charlie and Kristen got married in North Carolina.
The Outer Banks.
At the Outer Banks.
That house is gone. They burned it down.
No way.
Burned it the fuck down.
Get out of here.
Yep.
It was at this giant house that kind of held everybody that was in the...
Which was great.
In the wedding.
Like, listen, I have so many dudes.
Yeah,
yeah. And it was great that you were there because if I would do it all over again, you'd be
we had a blast. But probably one of the coolest things, we had one of the nights we were having a dinner and all the guys that were in the Steeline disappeared. Nobody knew where the hell they were.
Yes.
Right?
This is all via Mike Beck.
Yes. Yeah. So they all Mike disappeared. Beck. And I'm like, what the hell's going on? Like where the hell is everybody? And next thing I know, you hear this drumming, right? We talk about the Steeline. They gathered pots and pans out of the kitchen with wooden spoons, anything they could absolutely grab.
Yeah.
And they played songs
we just
through the whole house.
I had 13 groomsmen.
Yeah.
They ranged from the guy I went to high school, the drumline with, and guys I was in college with, and guys I taught with.
Yeah.
Guys I marched, DCI with and WGI. So there was a bunch of us.
It was so cool.
That was fun.
I mean, that was awesome. I mean, these girls talk about Lincoln stuff all the time. We probably have that on video somewhere. We should link that.
Yeah.
Because it was super cool to see them be able to come up with something like that so quick.
Dude, I'll never forget. You were the man that week because you had claimed the poolside bar with the slushy machine.
Yeah, the slushy machine.
And you were always down there manning it. You were like, yo, you guys got to come down. It's great. Get music playing. The slushy machine's going.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you'd go back down and we'd be chilling and he's like, hey, you guys got to go.
Yeah. We had a set.
Yeah.
We had a set.
Yeah.
We had music going.
Mm-hmm. Do you remember the pool heater debacle?
Oh my God. When I hacked the pool heater. And put the fuse back in.
Sure,
I cut the box off. I cut there was a zip tie holding a box, and I cut the zip tie off, and I re-entered the fuse. So the pool heater worked because they were trying to charge us to heat the pool.
And they're like, "Sir, you put your own lock on that," and I was like, "I don't know what you're talking about."
Yep, I bought a lock from Ace Hardware in the Outer Banks.
That was fun. That was a great week.
Yep.
Ian's don't know.
Ian's don't know.
All right, brother.
All right,
I love you. Peace out.
Peace out.